Hi, I'm Sandeep, and you're watching The Weekender at 5. In today's headlines, 215 new COVID cases were reported in community and one further death. It brings New Zealand's total COVID death toll to 41 since the pandemic hit our shores last year. The latest death was of a patient in their 50s who was admitted to Auckland City Hospital on November 17th. In another major news of today, Workplace Relations and Safety Minister Michael Wood has announced new vaccination assessment tools for businesses that will be made available to ensure new vaccination requirements for staff and employees are met. This announcement is in continuation of yesterday's announcement by Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern of moving the country and preparing the country to move into the new traffic light system on 11:59 p.m. Thursday, 2nd of December. So speaking from Beehive today, Workplace Relations and Safety Minister Michael Wood announced new vaccination assessment tool that will be made available to businesses to ensure that all requirements are met. Speaking on the occasion, Minister Wood said, "We have developed a tool to help clarify what work should be covered by vaccinated workers and to create a simple and clear tool for minister when it is reasonable to require vaccination for others. This tool will specify four key factors, at least three of which must be met before it would be reasonable for small businesses and businesses to require vaccination from their employees and staff." So to read more on this analysis, please go on our website at what small businesses should be doing in the coming weeks and prepare for the vaccination of their staff. Now, moving on to the next segment, today we will be going and speaking to a renowned travel agent from our community, Sijo Abraham from Sihon Travels, about a very important issue that is affecting a vast majority of Kiwi Indians. So as we all know that today is 23rd of November and it has been 6 months since when New Zealand government has first introduced and put India into a very high risk category, which was as our frontline defense at the border for the COVID-19 protection. So announcing a decision on 23rd of April, Chris Hipkins, the Minister for COVID Protection, has said that 4 different countries were put into a very high risk category, along with India, Brazil, Papua New Guinea, Pakistan. They were put into a category, and it was said that only citizens will be allowed to travel directly from that country, and all residents and permanent residents, they would not be able to travel directly to New Zealand, and they will be required to go and stay in a non-COVID or COVID-free country for 14 odd days before being eligible to come to New Zealand, obviously with a negative test as well. So this decision has been very painful for the vast majority of Kiwi Indian community, as it has created a lot of chaos in the lives of people and have increased huge amount of cost to find a third country and pay for MIQ or stay for at least 2 weeks. And it have escalated the cost of their travel, and it has affected the lives of a lot of people. So it has been 6 months since the government has taken that decision, and Indian Weekender has always been consistently raising the voice of the Kiwi Indian community on this important issue. We have been calling out the government, and we have been consistently chasing the government to see when the next review is done. Very lately, we have done our stories where we have been told by Office of Minister Hipkins that review is being done and decisions might be coming soon. But yeah, we have yet not heard anything from them. So on this important issue, we would like to speak to Sijo, and let's bring him on for our digital studio. Hi, Sijo, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks, Sijo. And first of all, thanks for joining us on this very
Sure.
important issue, which is not only affecting the Kiwi Indian industry, but I'm pretty sure it's affecting the travel operators like yourself. So,
Yes.
would you like to tell us how this decision of government has affected tour operators and travel operators like you?
You can imagine how they affected because it's affected a lot. We lost more than like a business like nearly 80% business we lost.
Right. Okay.
So it's very tough time. All the travel agents is working in New Zealand or tour operators working in New Zealand. It's very huge loss for only the one who are the one more suffering in New Zealand. I think travel agents.
डेफिनेटली नो वी कंप्लीटली एग्री विद दैट बट आज हम जिस मुद्दे पे बात करना चाह रहे हैं सीजो वो हम बात करना चाह रहे हैं जो हमारे कीवी इंडियंस हैं जो यहाँ पर रेसिडेंट्स या परमानेंट रेसिडेंट है जिनका घर अभी भी इंडिया में है एंड दे जस्ट ऑफ कोर्स दे नीड टू ट्रैवल टू इंडिया फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम सबकी अपनी
Yes.
फैमिलीज हैं इंपॉर्टेंट इश्यूज हैं और प्री कोविड वर्ल्ड में जहाँ पे कि हमें ट्रैवल अरेंजमेंट करने के लिए मुश्किल से एक दिन लगता था डिसीजन लेने के लिए आज के इस दौर में अचानक से वो इतना स्ट्रेसफुल बन गया है कि लोगों को डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट्स नहीं मालूम है उन्हें रूट्स नहीं मालूम है और आई थिंक दिस वाज अ वेरी फास्ट इवॉल्विंग स्पेस एज वेल शायद बहुत पहले लोगों ने अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड अमेरिका वगैरह से होकर यहाँ पर आए थे उसके बाद धीरे धीरे शायद दुबई और सर्बिया का रूट डेवलप हुआ था जहाँ पे कि हमारे फेलो कीवी इंडियंस जाते हैं और वहाँ पे उन्होंने रुका तो हम ये जानना चाहते हैं आपसे कि क्या आप उन लोगों के बारे में या उन लोगों की स्टोरीज आपको मालूम चल रही है और क्या एग्जैक्टली पेन है लोगों का
Um, there is a story, both stories है उसमें. लेकिन मेन इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है अभी इधर से शुरू कर दूं मैं न्यूजीलैंड
जी
से इंडिया जाने के लिए शुरू कर दूंगा. न्यूजीलैंड में इंडिया जाने के लिए अभी फ्रॉम 25th नवंबर देयर इज नो सिंगल सीट अवेलेबल फॉर एमिरेट्स. Auckland to India, there is no seats only available on business class. It's cost maybe $4,000 or $5,000.
राइट ओके
And when you coming back, the people need to look at the document like आपको जो जाने के टाइम आपको पूरा MI की पूरा रेडी करने के बाद ही आपको जाना है.
जी जी और उन्हें वापस आने के लिए भी शायद पहले से प्लान करना पड़ेगा कि कौन से थर्ड कंट्री में उन्हें जाना है और वहां पे रुकना है 14 डेज के लिए और फिर आना है विच
जी
इज
वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट बात है. उधर इधर से जाने के टाइम उन लोग नहीं किया तो इंडिया भी जो इमरजेंसी में आपको जा सकते इंडिया में जा सकते आपको टिकट लेके इंडिया में जा सकते उधर से आपको MIQ में आपको डेट ट्राई करना पड़ेगा आपको. लेकिन जो रिटर्न आने के टाइम आप सिटीजन नहीं है तो और फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप PR होल्डर है आपके साथ में आपका बेटी और वाइफ न्यूजीलैंड पासपोर्ट ट्रैवल नहीं कर रहा हूँ आपको जो PR होल्डर को दूसरा कंट्री में स्टे करना पड़ेगा 15 डेज.
राइट राइट तो यही हम जानना चाह रहे हैं आपसे कि जो आपके कस्टमर्स हैं आप उनके लिए जब अरेंज करते हैं टिकट सर्बिया या दुबई जैसे रूट्स के लिए सो व्हाट दे आर टेलिंग यू हाउ डिफिकल्ट इज फॉर देम एंड हाउ मच कॉस्टली इट इज फॉर देम कुछ बताएंगे आप इस बारे में
Yeah, for example, the financially it's very tight because per person from India to New Zealand, the cost will be approximately 15 days stay, including around $5,200 per person.
right okay
So and sometimes we don't get a seat from India to Dubai.
right
So we need to take the higher class. So that time, the cost will be going up like $6,000, $7,000 per person.
बिल्कुल
If you do it for December, and there is no seat to Dubai.
राइट ओके ओके तो अगर हम देखें एक हमारी जो कीवी इंडियन माइग्रेंट फैमिली होती है मम्मी पापा और 2 बच्चे तो अगर वो यहाँ पे रेसिडेंट हैं और काफी टाइम से हैं इफ दे हैव टू प्लान टू गो टू इंडिया ड्यूरिंग द क्रिसमस टाइम ड्यूरिंग द हॉलिडे टाइम जब उनको यहाँ पे छुट्टी मिल सकती है तो उनको जाने का अलग प्रॉब्लम है, सिर्फ आने वापस लौटने के लिए उन्हें कम से कम 5 to 6 thousand पर हेड, विच इज अराउंड $24 to 25 thousand न्यूजीलैंड
Yes.
डॉलर्स का
At the moment,
खर्चा,
yes.
and that doesn't include the MIQ cost,
No,
which will be
not
so.
only quarantine in out of New Zealand. It's included. Like if you stay in Dubai, it's a 15 days. It's including food, transfer, all the transfer, and RT-PCR test. Everything is included. But we
Right.
highly recommend to all the passengers, please stay inside the room. Don't travel to any other place. Like if most of the people, once you reach in Dubai, we can go to shopping or go to other, like like a normal tour.
राइट, फेयर एनफ,
No,
नो आई कंप्लीटली एग्री। मैं आपसे
some
जानना
of the
चाहता हूँ
people,
सीजो, क्या आप ऐसे लोगों से मिले हैं, क्या कस्टमर्स आपके पास आते हैं जिनको इस कॉस्ट के बारे में आइडिया नहीं हो, और जब आप उन्हें कॉस्ट बताते हैं तो वो अपने ट्रैवल अरेंजमेंट्स को कैंसिल कर दें, या पूरी फैमिली नहीं जाए? क्या आपको ऐसी स्टोरीज या ऐसे एक्सपीरियंसेस हो रहे हैं?
both है
बहुत है।
जी।
ओके ओके।
क्योंकि there is two options, but I suggest always stay in the hotel. I don't recommend to stay in the apartments, because I always suggest to my client, especially, suggest to always recommend to stay only in the hotel, including like 3 time meals. The hotel people, they'll bring to the food into the room, because if they travel to out of the city, like maybe आपको, for example, आपको just city tour करना है. I say family go. I think 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Last week, 2 time it's happened. Like one of the family, they are coming from India. I don't
राइट।
want to tell exactly the place. And from the India to Dubai, the COVID test was fine, and they travel lot inside the Dubai. And from Dubai to Auckland, when 2 days before they need to test RT-PCR, they need to test,
राइट।
and they got positive.
दे गॉट पॉजिटिव।
Yes.
ओके,
So
फिर
that's why
वैसी सिचुएशन में क्या हुआ?
they lost lots of money, because they don't have any other option. Again, they need to stay there 15 days, and MAQ is already gone.
राइट, ओके।
So in our MAQ, they don't have any excuses or anything.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, नहीं हम बिल्कुल आपके, नहीं, थैंक्स फॉर शेयरिंग दीज ड्रेडफुल स्टोरीज, मतलब which is not the right thing, like Kiwi Indian residents who have been in this country, who arrived in
Yes.
this country on different visas,
And the
and
money making people only the third countries. Like for example, if you stay in Dubai, they need to spend something nearly $3,000-4,000.
of course, of course, of course. No, it is definitely a terrible situation, and yes, Indian Weekender has been raising this issue consistently with the government, and yes, we have been relaying the plight of the story, the pain we are saying, and we. At the beginning of this, putting India into that very high risk category, Indian Weekender has been uh, asking and telling the government, doing some stories, interviewing, and putting the right numbers, that, in April, it was quite right. It may be
Yes.
right. It may be right, because India was going through the second wave of COVID over there. There was some escalation in numbers. But since then, a lot of water has gone under the river, actually. And what has happened is that आज की डेट में जो इंडिया में डेली केसेस आ रहे हैं कोविड में, that is far, far less than what we are seeing here in Auckland. And we have already done a lot of stories on that. So we don't know
Yes.
why
I think it's less than UK.
Definitely, it is definitely less than UK as well. So yes, it is very surprising that why government has failed to take a timely decision, while rest of the world, India's vaccinated people, they are allowed to travel to all over the world, be it US, be it UK, be it Europe. But yeah, Australia has opened as well. But unfortunately, New Zealand, New Zealand government is lagging a lot behind, and they need to do the catch up. And more than doing a catch up, it is about doing the right thing for the people. Like,
Yes.
Indian residents over here who have been in this country, who are tax-paying, hard-working migrants, they have been cut off from their families. Like, it has been more than 18 months since our borders have been closed, and on top of rest of other New Zealand citizens, Kiwi Indian residents, they have been put on extra strenuous cost. to come back to this country. Like they can't even travel, and they can't even get any exemption or any relief when they have to travel for the family emergencies, be it a death or be any
It's
other
true.
situation over there. So yes, it is definitely very unfortunate. And Sijo, thanks for joining us today and sharing the plight of those stories. And we
And there is
completely
one more thing.
understand.
There
Yes.
is one more thing,
Hmm.
and I think Singapore is going to be open from 29, but still now they don't officially they don't announce anything, but still waiting for the schedule from India. So
Surely, I
DG,
think from what we are hearing that there would be a direct vaccine line, vaccination transit
three
line
flight.
between Singapore and India.
Yeah, there is three flight. From one is from Delhi, sorry, one is from Delhi, Bombay, and Chennai.
Right. So what it means that travel from Singapore to India is already sorry, travel from Singapore to New Zealand is already happening, right? And
Yeah.
once Singapore opens flight to India, then technically somebody from India should be able to catch those flight and come to Singapore and then catch next flight from Singapore to New Zealand, isn't it?
Yes, if they only allowed New
If
Zealand.
they only allowed, if they only allowed, which doesn't
And
make sense at
there is
all. If travelers can come from Singapore to Auckland, which New Zealand is allowed, then anyone who is coming into Singapore should be able to catch the next flight and come to New Zealand. Well, this is
yeah,
what probably New Zealand government should be thinking.
yeah, even all the flight, because I don't want to go to that topic. Officially there is no.
No, no, I
So
completely understand, and I completely understand your limitation as well. Like as a travel
yes,
operator, you work with all airlines, so we completely understand and acknowledge that fact. So this today's discussion is more about the plight of our Kiwi
there
Indian
is one more
residents.
good news. There is one more good news. The Qantas airline from Melbourne, it's directly start to Delhi from first December.
Surely, no, no, I completely understand, and I will encourage our viewers and readers who are watching this to maybe get in touch with you if they have to make any travel plans. I will leave that commercial part with you only. But yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for joining us today, Cizo. We really appreciate you joining us and
You're
sharing
welcome.
the insight from the industry.
Thank you. Thank
So yes, this is again, as I said, today is 23rd of November. 6 months has completed. It was on 23rd of April when Minister Chris Hipkins has announced this decision of putting India into a very high risk category. And what we are hearing from our fellow Kiwi Indian migrants that this has been a very painful journey of last 6 odd months. We have been consistently raising their voice and relying to the government. We are constantly in touch with Minister Chris Hipkins' office, and we are being assured that decision is under review and yeah, we might be hearing again from the government, although all the data that has been presented to the government, all the data that is available to public does point to the fact that India is not a high risk at all, and it should not be in that category. And ideally, it is expected that government should be taking a positive decision anytime soon. So this is Sandeep, along with our production team at Weekender at 5. Thank you very much.